as he's expressed a desire to withdraw from NATO and skepticism over funding for Ukraine.
So there you go. That's your straight arrow news. And I don't know if you caught that at the end. They said they believe that Iran favors the Democrats, whereas Russia favors Trump. That's all speculation. They don't know that, but that's how they drop little bitty things in there. Well, there's a South Carolina elementary school that fires multiple teachers. And what did they do that was so egregious? It's in the Daily Mail if you want to go read it. These teachers had the audacity to wear a T-shirt, and it says Border Patrol, meaning that they were doing Border Patrol duty because of all the kids that were put in their school. And there's a lot of language issues, and this is happening right here in Appleton Elementary. I was told they're having to really look into this because the expectation of Hispanic speaking only students is on the rise, and evidently there's been a lot of movement here to there's evidently some kids and families from the border that Mayor Kelly and possibly Mayor Wamp has agreed to allow settle here, and it's going to infiltrate the school system. And once again, your homeschooling is going to accelerate. But South Carolina elementary school fires multiple teachers after they wore outrageous Border Patrol shirts at school with Hispanic kids. 7 teachers at South Carolina elementary school have been fired for dressing up as Border Patrol agents to represent Mexico as part of the Olympic parade event at a school. So it was part of an event. So the Royal Elementary School in Florence faced backlash for staffers dressed up in the offensive garb as part of celebration for this week of school. Images of the professional development even show 2 staff members sporting T-shirts that read U.S. Border Patrol and posing in front of a brick wall. So don't know if they were doing that in favor. It doesn't really say if they were in favor of a wall or if this was to mock it. But anyway, due to the serious nature of this incident, several employees are no longer employed by the district or have been placed on some kind of leave. So this is in the Daily Mail. That's not a conservative site. So I thought that was interesting as you look at that. And sanctuary cities could be blocked from moving migrants around. This is becoming a problem. Governors, to make political points, are moving people that cross the border from maybe their conservative state to a liberal state. And you know, and I'm just being a pastor here. It breaks my heart for these families. Here they come to America. I know you could say they don't belong here, don't deserve, they've not come through. But the bottom line is they're being manipulated. They're pawns. They can't even speak our language. There's people that have used them. Okay, most of them want the American dream. And again, I'm in favor of border control. I'm in favor of folks coming through legally, learn the language, learn the culture, become a citizen, etc. But I also don't like how both sides will use these families and these kids like pawns. And you bust them all over the place. I mean, can you imagine how embarrassing that is? They talk about how they bust a bunch of families to Kamala Harris's house. Okay, here they get off the bus, and then the bus pulls off and leaves them there at Kamala's house. All I'm saying is, can you imagine how embarrassing, how that had to have been very, they don't understand the language. Where are we? What's going on? Of course, then someone comes and picks them up and puts them somewhere else. I'm just saying it. But here, anyway, sanctuary cities could be blocked from moving migrants without warning. Because on the flip side, what's happening is it sounds like the sanctuary cities are doing manipulation as well. See what you think, if this sounds like a fair news, I guess a news opinion. There's so many news opinions. I go, that's not fair. This sounds fair. See what you think.
A Republican congressman wants to block federal funds from going to so-called sanctuary cities if they send migrants to other cities without notification. The legislation proposed by Congressman Burgess Owens is meant to prevent non-sanctuary cities from receiving immigrants they aren't prepared to help without warning. Owens' district spans central Utah near Salt Lake City and Provo. He said in a statement, quote, "Self-declared sanctuary cities like Denver are abusing loopholes in the law and using federal taxpayer dollars to transport illegal immigrants to non-sanctuary cities like Salt Lake City. Right now, we have migrants showing up at our airports, bus stations, and city halls with no support services or sponsors after being dumped by so-called sanctuary cities." Owens' bill requires sanctuary cities to provide notice of imminent migrant arrivals to non-sanctuary jurisdictions. Requires documentation to prove the newly arrived migrants will continue receiving support at their destination through a family, sponsor, or other organization. And it makes cities who send migrants without warning or proper documentation ineligible to receive FEMA Shelter Service Program funds. The FEMA SSP program provides financial support to non-federal entities that offer humanitarian assistance to migrants who've been released from DHS custody.
So, again, the shell game that both sides use, the Democrats want to be sanctuary cities and sanctuary states because they can't win on the issues. So they have to build up their voter rolls with illegal aliens that don't know the issues, don't know our country. All they know is, hey, you gave me a hamburger and a credit card, unlimited, and a new cell phone. Hey, I'll vote for you. But anyway, my Georgia Bulldog reporter just sent to me this. This is disturbing, but I'll let you decide. You can go to X, or what is known as Twitter, and check out this. Chuck Calesto, breaking now. Jamie Raskin claims Congress will stop Trump on January 6, 2025 and create a civil war condition. I repeat, this is breaking news. Jamie Raskin claims Congress will stop Trump on January 6, 2025 and create a civil war condition. We'll use the 14th Amendment and paying attention now. Let's see if I can pick up the volume on this. This rascal is, of course, he's a lip-lock liberal, and what do you expect? But here is, let me plug him into the system here. This is kind of egregious.
Is Section 3 of the 14th Amendment, which they're just disappearing with a magic wand, as if it doesn't exist, even though it could not be clearer what it's stating. And so, they want to kick it to Congress, so it's going to be up to us on January 6, 2025, to tell the rampaging Trump mobs that he's disqualified. And then we need bodyguards for everybody and civil war conditions, all because the 9 justices, not all of them, but these justices who have not many cases to look at every year, not that much work to do, a huge staff, great protection, simply do not want to do their job.
So here's a liberal trying to make it sound like the Supreme Court doesn't want to do their job. And by the way, I have an interview I'll play at the 5 o'clock hour of Neil Gorsuch and his new book, and it's a good point. His new book is, I think, hits on a good point. We have too many laws in this country.